Hey, my friend,
Kia ora.
I'm so sorry. I've never done that.
What's that? Sleep through your alarm?
I woke up to it. I woke up to it, but then I lay back down. And then it's like 24, 25 degrees at 7 in the morning, right?
Mm.
Even with the aircon on, it's still, and then what happens is there's like big roller windows on the outside of the houses, so the rooms are dark because you don't want
Oh,
it coming
okay.
in. So it's like there's not even light coming in. And I woke up at like 5 to 8 going, shit.
It's like, damn.
Damn. Oh, well, I had a really bad
Crack
sleep.
up.
That must have been why. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Yep. Had
Oh,
another great day.
oh, cool. How was your day? What'd you get up to?
Well, I'd already kind of set it up so that I could do a whole lot of nothing. So today was
Oh,
a nothing day. Yeah, but it was cool. I cleaned my room, cleaned our bedroom, had a nice hot bath, and got into nice clean jammies. Got back into bed, and then
oh, yeah.
yeah, put my laptop on, did some journaling, just scrolled around, watched a movie, fell asleep, and
Yay.
then yeah, it was cool. And then my daughter came home from town. She bought us some lunch, so that was nice. So yeah, didn't have to do much, but we're just about to kind of all get up and clean our house again, the bulk of
Yep.
it. But it's all good because we're all energized and we're all up for it. So just and then we've
Yay.
got the call tomorrow, and yeah, so we go into kid action for the next few days.
Yay. That's
So yeah,
cool.
cool. So I read through my notes that you sent. They were cool as.
Yeah.
Um,
Made
then
sense.
it made sense, and then I just created some questions around the
Yeah.
feedback, and then yeah, just like lapped it up. It was cool.
Yay. Go you. A nice day. And I had
Yeah,
a bit of a trip out with my brother and his wife to a place called Newham. We just had a nice lunch and walked around and, just a sort of touristy day yesterday.
nice. They
Yeah.
must enjoy seeing the country again through like your eyes,
Yeah.
because
And
you'll be quite excited about seeing everything.
yeah. And I've been to Spain, but not this area. And I don't remember a lot.
Oh, okay.
30 years ago.
Oh, far
Yeah.
out.
So the time
Oh,
when I was in Barcelona would have
yeah.
been 31 years ago. Yeah. So it's
Is
it's
that how
really
long he's
cool.
been in Spain?
No, no. I was there in the 90s living with my ex-husband in
Oh,
London. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, okay.
So
Oh,
I'd
funny that
been
you
to
both you and
Spain.
your brother ended up going
Yeah.
over.
Well, he met his wife through a friend of his. It was his sister-in-law, his best friend's
Oh,
sister-in-law, and they hit it off. And she was living in Switzerland, and he was living in Australia, and his life wasn't working out in Australia, so he moved, and then they moved down to Spain to save money and to have better weather, and so they both could have a lifestyle down here, where in Switzerland was a bit harder for Sean up there. So yeah,
oh yeah.
and people just not as friendly maybe. And yeah, so they moved. And then
Oh,
of course I made this dream 12 years ago. He wasn't living here, he was living in Australia.
oh,
Figure.
far out.
He was in Australia. So go figure how things just and the timing,
Yeah.
the timing, the timing.
That's
So yeah, it's
awesome.
pretty cool. And there's lots of cool history here, and I love the water and the heat, so that's good. So it's meant to get up to
Mm.
33, 34 today, but it's like 25 overnight, bro. So yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. And I was just sleepy this morning, but I feel good now. So thanks for that. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
I knew you wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no worries.
No worries with you. So last 2 days, as we said, you've seen some good stuff, eh? You've seen that you've got some fears still around maybe competing a little bit, trying to prove yourself, and you don't want to lose what you've got, and you don't want to be compared to by others. And also, you came up, a couple of things that came up was people are dickheads sometimes, and people let me down. So it was some stuff that came up yesterday, and you're really committed to fully stepping into letting go of control, but totally being you and allowing yourself to be you, right?
Yeah.
And letting go of this resistance. So you've already seen some really cool stuff so far, and I knew you'd put it into action because that's what you do, right? And as you
Yeah.
saw, you've been programmed by your parents to do stuff and you like doing stuff, but you're still trying to prove a little bit. And that's the stuff we want to drop, eh? That because that's another barrier to the universe coming in and going, hey, here's a new job, or maybe you don't want a job, but here's a new
Yeah.
relationship, or here's a trip you didn't know you were going to be doing that's paid for by someone else. Who knows, eh? It's
Yeah. Who
exciting.
knows? Yeah.
Who knows, man? That's exciting stuff. And then you got around 70% for your little signature system survey, which was cool to see that. And now today we're looking at your shoulds. We're looking
Oh
at
yeah.
how you're shitting on yourself. Here's a little quote from me. Every time you should yourself, you silence your soul. Stop shooting and start listening. Yeah. Because
Oh.
the shooting sits above awareness. When we're forcing, as you probably know, and when we're in the shooting, the awarenesses can't come up to what's really going on in that moment. And you might want to go into force because um, of something you know, a pattern you know, or a pattern that's going on. But of course, instead of us stopping sometimes and going, well, why have I got this energy or feeling? We just keep going with the shooting. But there's always an awareness when we go into force and when we go into pressure. There's always an awareness to be had. So today we want to listen to what's going on again and see why you might be shooting and drop some of that shooting. So we're going to get straight into it. So stop shooting on yourself from a great height. You know how
Cool.
much I love wordplay.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'll just
Okay.
tuck this under here. So um, got some paper for notes. So what are you making yourself do? What are some of the things you're still doing that feels incongruent to what you really desire? When we talk about that real true peace you want and allowance and surrender, and we were talking about going traveling for the sake of it and not working hard to pay a mortgage off, but just letting it all flow. What are you making yourself do?
Making myself do. I
What-
still, I still make myself do a lot of the community stuff,
Right. Yeah.
community work, like community, yeah, marae, mahi, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Why is
I have
that?
put resignations in though, in some
Oh,
spaces.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am working on it. Well, not working on it, but I am
You've seen
doing,
it. Hey.
seeing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, I don't want to drag myself to a hui and sit there for 3 hours when I'm just really not in it.
And you might be tired or you've had a big week or stuff's
Yeah,
going on with your girl or family, eh? Sometimes it's just no, isn't it?
yeah,
Sometimes we're just not in that energy and flow with it. And it might be the next week we're okay, but you know, it's that
yeah,
listening, isn't it, in that moment. She's still doing some community stuff. I hear you on the mid-eye and things. Yeah.
yeah. And it's a lot of like now, because yeah, so like 6 months ago, I know that I was still proving because now I'm in a situation where I've taken on big roles, like, big treasurer roles to take care of 12 marae all up in Waimana.
Wow.
So it's representing, everyone. And then so now that the job is getting bigger because we're starting to rebuild our whole everything, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like
Yeah.
it's turning into a full-time job. And so
Yeah.
so yeah, things like that. So should I'm still, yeah. I should just, yeah. So still making myself show up to things that I'm not really interested in anymore.
Making myself show up to things you're not really into. Can we give a list of those as other than marae?
Probably not. It's really just like so I'm the treasurer at, one marae, and then I'm a treasurer for all
Yeah.
12 maraes, and then I'm chairman for another marae, and then just lots of roles. So I'm like, nah, you gotta pick two and go hearty and let the other two go. I let the other stuff go.
Yeah. And are you paid for those roles?
Nah, no.
No,
That's
it's
all.
generally a contribution, isn't it? We're all supporting
Yeah,
our communities, aren't we?
that's right.
Not that I'm expecting you to be, but I just wondered, okay. What about in
Yeah.
Kano?
With Fano,
Yeah. What are you still
uh,
shitting on yourself there?
I should
I should.
I should probably, yeah, I think, oh, maybe I should turn up at school more.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, do I really have to?
Yeah. You're working two jobs or more than really, aren't you? Lots of roles, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, again, it's like, I shouldn't beat myself up because I can't get to everything.
And that's a should as well. Can you see
Yeah,
it's a judgment there?
yeah.
So
So,
you're
yeah,
even judging yourself that you shouldn't beat yourself up.
yeah,
I shouldn't beat myself up that I'm not getting anywhere. It's still a should.
yeah,
That I shouldn't
yeah.
beat myself up that I'm not doing something is what you said, or something like that.
It's like that, yeah, because I don't show up to everything, every event.
Yeah. I'm just writing this down. That's a judgment too. Because you don't show up to every event, right? So you have to show up.
Yeah, I feel like I do. I'm getting a lot better at it, but
Oh, of course you
there's
are, because
still
you're
that.
aware of it.
Yeah, because there's still stuff that I'm like, oh no. Like even Tangi's, because I'm the treasurer there and I'm on the committee, the expectation is for me to be at the marae the whole time. So that can be like 3.5, 4 days straight. And that's from morning till night,
Oh,
collecting the money, doing all the finances for the tangi,
okay.
doing the hui afterwards, all of that. So I'm
That's
like,
huge.
and then you're running back and forth to town doing all the shopping, and they're big shoppings, like
Oh, they're not like buying a couple of bottles of bread, a couple of bottles
nah,
of milk, is it? You're
it's
shopping for
like 4 or 5
hundreds.
trolleys. So
Yeah.
it's the physical mahi, it's the mental mahi, and then I'm trying to juggle work and family in between all of that, and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm not even enjoying this.
Yeah.
It's like this is too much now. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, but it's like because I didn't go to the last two tangis because I couldn't, I had to work.
Yeah.
It's like feel embarrassed or shamed that I let the team down.
Right. So still some embarrassment there again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So there's a little bit still embarrassment in comparing yourself because someone else would have been there, right?
yeah,
But maybe they
yeah,
don't work and maybe they don't have your roles and maybe they're not a single parent, you know?
for sure. I mean, we've got 1,000 members on our Facebook page for one of our maraes, and we've
That's
got the
right.
same
The
six,
same,
seven people doing
the
the
same
bulk of
job.
the money. Yeah. So, and that happens everywhere. I know that, but it's still
It probably
frustrating.
happens in most schools, it's the same
Yeah.
parents because they don't work. Like our
Yeah.
PTA or Hopi was amazing, but they were not working mothers.
Right.
It was a core
Yeah.
10 and I was friends with most of them and they just had that PTA and the fundraising just humming, but they weren't
On
working.
point. Yeah. Yeah.
They had time to come in every day and check on the raffles and, which I couldn't
Cool.
have done and you couldn't have done.
Nah.
And
Yeah.
so you're not enjoying some of it, it's too much. You want to cut down some roles. You should turn up to school, but you should also not beat yourself up. So that's a judgment too. I
Yeah.
shouldn't beat myself up as another energy you're sending to yourself. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Like a shame, like, ugh, I shouldn't beat myself up, but also I should go. So what you've got
Yeah.
is this conundrum, a little bit of a conundrum where you've got that, that infinity loop. It's not
Mm.
massive. You're not who you were 5 years ago, but it's
Yeah.
still there. I can feel like 20% of the time or whatever, you're still doing this 30%. So it's like a loop in here. I should go, but I shouldn't feel bad that I don't go, but it's just looping. Yeah. Okay, so what are
Yeah.
the things you're not doing but you think you should, like the school thing? Is there any more of those that
Uh,
you're not doing but you think you should be with whānau or friends or anything else?
yeah,
Or you
not so
think,
much. It's really just around my little one with his school.
yeah,
Schooling stuff, the marae stuff, the
yeah.
yeah, community stuff.
What about money? Anything with money or your body?
Oh, body, yeah. I'm like,
You forgot about
gosh.
that one. We've all
Yeah, I'm
got
like,
that. I
I
would,
should
I
go
would,
for a walk, or I should. Ugh. That's always,
I would say everyone on the planet's got one of those with body, right?
yeah.
I should go for a walk. So what should your body be like?
Uh, yeah, I just think fitter.
Yeah, I should be fitter. Yeah. It's a
Uh,
classic. We've all got this.
yeah. I've come to the realization I don't actually want to be smaller because I've been smaller and I don't, it's not me.
You would know
I'm quite
happier,
happy with,
right?
yeah. I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at and I enjoy all my foods that I eat and I, do relive and got Kangen water. And so I really enjoy
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
You look
Yeah.
really healthy, actually. You look
Yeah.
really glowing and healthy, and yeah.
Yeah, I just know sometimes my breathing, like if I've got to rush out and do something, I catch myself halfway through. I'm like, girl, you gotta get some. Because I'm like struggling. Like, when I go and do that big shopping or something like that, I'm like, God damn, I gotta work
You're
out or
picking up
something.
bottles and picking up
Yeah.
rolls, just
Yeah, like
five
20
grocery
big
bags.
pumpkins and 20 big cabbages and 50
Hey,
bread. And I'm like, oh my
there's
God.
your weight lift program. You don't need to go
Yeah.
to the gym, girl. Hey.
Oh yeah, mind you, yeah, and then like I'm quite active around my section. I'm always doing firewood or mowing the lawns or spraying the section or cutting trees. So, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like I want to do the gym or anything, but I just think, man,
Okay.
could probably increase that fitness a bit better, a bit more.
Okay. So if it's coming from a should energy, you won't do it anyway, because what will happen
Yeah.
is you do it for a little bit, the walking or exercise, and then
Oh yeah,
the force energy will fall off.
yeah,
So it might not
yeah,
be about that you need to do more, but you need to just drop the should. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And so if we just close our eyes for a sec, I just want to make sure we're not just in our heads about it and do what we did yesterday and just drop down into the body. So drain your energy out of your head down into your body. Drain all the energy that is you, the soul, back into your body. And then when you're ready, drop yourself down into the earth. And then expand out. Just expand your energy out. When you're ready, tell me, and let's have another look at it.
Yeah.
So let's ask again, is there anywhere else you're shoulding that, or what you should not be doing or you should be doing that is impacting you right now?
Uh, Nothing's really coming up.
No, that's
Um,
okay. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's okay. So while we're there, let's keep our eyes closed. See if anything does come up. But what payoffs are there to this? What are you getting out of this forcing? What are you getting out of going to the community events even though you don't want to go? What are you getting out of blaming yourself and shooting on yourself? There's a value to this somewhere,
Yeah, it's external validation is still
right?
there.
Yep.
Seeking, external validation. But
Yeah.
now that I'm coming more into myself, it's it's like, uh, yeah, I can really see where I just did all that to get pats on the back or to be,
Right. Yep.
recognized or, all
Yep.
of that kind of stuff. But now that I don't need it, it's like now I don't want to do it, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
do you think some of it is also you can still make yourself wrong a little bit?
um, yeah, I think being in such big spaces kind of set myself up for daggers. Uh, you know, that tall poppy syndrome thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good girl. And I think also, yeah, just people's jealousy comes up and they throw snide remarks and stuff.
Right.
I'm not anywhere near, I can't do it. It's just that I was doing it for recognition.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't think, I was doing some shoulds to be a good girl, to be
Oh
a
yeah,
good girl. I was doing
yeah.
some shoulds. Some shoulding I was doing on myself was to make myself wrong. Like I should walk and I should do this. It was all about making me wrong. It was all about judging me. Do you have any of those that are about judging you?
Mm,
Are you doing any of it as a type of beat up, to beat yourself up?
oh, for sure. Yeah, like that whole not going to the tangi thing. That's a real kind of
Yeah.
uh, Māori, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Construct.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, so that one, and like, I'm working at home and I'm thinking, oh man, I can't wait till this tangi's over. So then that whole feeling of not contributing can go,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
get it.
that I
Yeah.
think yeah,
That's the
that's
biggest. So there'd be a little bit of that sitting there while the tongue's on.
yeah. And so I try and, be even extra busy so I'm not having to deal with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I get
uh,
it. Yeah. It's a construct that's a little bit that conundrum again, isn't it? I should
yeah,
go. But if I do go, I'm
yeah,
going against myself. Then I'm in self-judgment for not going. But if I did go, but then not allowing yourself not to go either. So you
yeah,
want to go, and there's judgment for that. And then, but if you do go, there's judgment there too.
yeah,
So you got a little bit of conundrum there with judgment for going and judgment for not going.
yeah.
Because if you went, it goes against how you feel, and you might go into a little bit of I shouldn't have gone.
Yeah, and then it's like the whole don't want to be surrounded by certain groups of people, and you know that they're going to be there. So if I force myself to go, then I'm in this position where I've got to be with them, and they're
Yeah,
not good for me, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, I'll get home and I'll be like, I knew I shouldn't have gone.
yeah, and there's that
Yeah,
self-judgment again. So either way, there's a self-judgment. Can you feel that?
yeah,
So there's a little bit of making yourself wrong as a payoff because on some level, when you make yourself wrong, the brain goes, "Oh, here we go again. I know that Gina. That's the
oh
Gina
yeah,
from when she was 8. That's the Gina
yeah,
when that trauma happened when she was 12 and she was in self-judging. We know that Gina. That's the safe Gina.
yeah,
It's just that automatic thing that the brain does to try and keep you safe is to keep you being wrong.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it,
true.
and it's fucked up. We know that the brain is just operating, but it's all about keeping you safe. And it will keep you in the same energy, the same frequency, the same pattern. So, and then you've got a payoff from it. The brain goes, oh, we can relax. She's making herself wrong.
Oh, okay.
So the
Yeah,
brain is used to
interesting.
that and the body's used to that. So if it kicks off any anger or shame, and you might not like the feeling of it, but the body and brain are just working together
Oh yeah.
automatically. Yeah, it's such
Mm,
a strange mechanism, isn't it? That it keeps us in the same place to keep us safe. But really, what
yeah.
it's doing is stopping all any other internal mechanism to be used in your intuition and possibility.
Mm,
Yeah. But you're
yeah.
not doing that all the time.
No, no way. And
Oh,
it's so far, but so far between now, where it was
yes.
quite daily.
Yes.
But it's just when certain things come up now, then
Yeah.
I have that tussle with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really get it. I got to the point before I left, I just wasn't doing anything I didn't want to do. And there were people that
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to catch up with me, and I'd had three teeth filled because I went to the dentist for a check, and I had to have 3 injections. I had 5
Mm,
chiropractic. My back was out like this, like a S. Everything
mm,
was out in my body, my kneecaps, my elbows. I had to have 5 sessions over 2 or 3 weeks, 3 fillings, and then I got food poisoning in the middle of it. And my body
wow.
was, for 2 weeks, my body was just, it was just on survival mode, but it had to be done before I left. I
Yeah.
didn't want to leave the country with my back like that, and I didn't want to leave with a feeling that was going to really kick off. But I just was like, no, I can't see you. No, I can't see you. In the past, I would have forced
Mm.
that. I would have gone, yeah, it's my last day. I'll fit 3 people in today.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, sorry, we're not going to catch up, but I did see you a few weeks ago. I'll see you when I get back.
Oh yeah.
But that was a new Lisa till even maybe 2 years before, you know. There was a
Mm,
shift again, I noticed.
mm,
Another shift I saw. I went, no, I'm not. I'm exhausted. I'm getting on a plane already tired, actually. I was tired
mm,
when I got on the plane. I wasn't sleeping well because of the chiropractic and my shoulder was out. And yeah, and it was like, no, I've got to look after me here because I'm getting on the plane already tired.
mm.
And it was
Hmm.
just tired with the build up as well. You can imagine.
Yeah.
And I could not shit on myself. I was, I'd sold up, packed up, said goodbye to Jill. It was a big 2 or 3 years, and I was just tired. And I was like, as
Mm,
soon as I got on that plane, this energy came in, and I wasn't tired anymore. Not that tired.
mm.
It was just the
Okay.
physical tired that went. And the tiredness now is just, oh yeah, I need a little bit of sleep, but that's gone, all that energy around that old life. Mm.
Right.
And what I'd love to
Wow.
see for you is any aspect of your old life. And we've got a tiny bit that still pops up, right? But I'd love to see any aspect of your life with your ex, any aspect of your life with the marae, any aspect of that there. And you can look back at it and go, oh, that happens about 1% now.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. That would be great. That'll be
yeah.
good.
But yeah, yeah. So I get where you're at with where you're at with the shooting thing, and I certainly would have been doing more of it even 6 months to a year or 2 years ago. And I just realized physically I couldn't push myself. No, and I had to push myself through the one day I had the tooth, the chiropractor, and a massage because she wanted me to, and I had food poisoning the night before. So I was just a wreck, but I had to do it.
Mm.
And my body was showing me, even though you're pushing, you have to do this part of it. You have to, Lise. So it wasn't a
Yeah.
pushing like I had to meet someone. It was like we just have to do these physical things before you get on a plane. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really interesting, but mm,
Mm.
yeah, and
Cool.
everything's going pretty well that way physically, so that's good, other than my knee, but that's okay. So the next page, we're on surrendering control. There'll be a little bit here, no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. Hey, I'll have some too, no doubt. So the diagram, which you can't see, but have you got it in front of you?
I can just quickly pull it up. Yep. Is
Yeah,
that page
16,
15?
my friend.
Oh,
16, my
16.
friend. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that is,
16.
you can see that diagram, right? You're in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Close family and friends, work colleagues, acquaintances, and everybody and everything else. Now, really, the only person you have 100% control over is you, right?
Hmm.
And I can say that to anyone, and it doesn't mean that they can do that because, again, that wiring. And then you have close family and friends. You have a little bit of say in here, right? Your children, your parents, you have some way of maybe being able to shift something or talk something through and being able to say, hey, have you tried it this way? And with your own children when they're younger, we've definitely got more control. And then as we move out, we think we've got control of work colleagues and acquaintances and everybody else, but we don't really.
Yeah.
But even the close family and friends, my kids got to a certain age, 13, there's nothing to really shift their behavior, really. I could talk to them about it, but I had to let them ride through teenager, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of it's done by 12 or 13, the parenting, the everything else. So really you only have control over you. So if you look in those other areas, where is it and who is it with that you're still in the close family, friends, work colleagues, or everybody else? Who is it that you still feel like you're trying to control a little bit because of their behavior or because you think they're not happy or something else?
So close family and friends. Probably my parents. Now that they're in their 70s.
Right.
Um,
Aging.
like, yeah, so just kind of like, Dad, maybe you shouldn't drink every day, stuff like that. But I mean, that's gone. Um, yeah, probably still trying to um trying to fix maybe my parents.
and
I
make
think
them
the kids,
happy.
I've really done heaps of letting go with the kids, the big kids.
That's
I'm
yeah, you
like,
did that, eh? You hand it
you've
over
just
to
got
their
to.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, love you guys dearly. If you're not, if you can't, if you don't want to take on my advice or anything like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I
That's
ain't repeat
great.
myself more than twice, so
That's
you
great.
know,
And you know,
yeah,
the parents thing is another one because we're changing roles. We become like the parent as they get older a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
So are you trying to make them happy a little bit? Happier? Because I think you said they weren't that happy at times.
Yeah, definitely. Like, mum is always just so hardcore on my dad,
Yeah.
just constantly bickering at him. But he's hard work. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I send money and just try and take some of that financial pressure off them. Any bills that come up, any maintenance of the house and that, I take care of all of that. Um,
Financially, you're paying for it or you're sorting it.
Financially, I'll pay for whatever, like
Yeah.
the septic tank needs to be emptied or
Yeah.
um chimney needs to be maintained, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, but then off that, I get shitty with my siblings because they can't see it
Right.
or they don't step up. But I've actually no, that used to be. Now I'm just like, because they don't live here, they probably don't really understand the full impact. So I
No,
gotta,
and it's like me with my mum. My brothers were 3 hours away, and Sean was in Australia. They're not
yeah,
seeing the day-to-day decline or the
yeah,
day-to-day lack of happiness or the day-to-day, yeah, all of that, are they?
yeah.
What if you
So it's
could
like I can't do anything about that. That's just take care of my parents best I can. Try and
yeah,
take some burdens off them.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Anything? No, what about for family, sorry, work colleagues and acquaintances?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to fix their attitudes. That's a reflection of myself. Um, yeah,
Love
I just get bossy because I can just see the bigger picture. And
Yeah,
because Bree's in for a 1 hour meeting every month when I've been in the trenches, 40 hours a week doing
yeah.
it, and then, they make flippant remarks like, oh, I could have done that cheaper, or oh, you should have contracted that fella, or oh, you should have. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I've done all those things that you've already said. That didn't work out because of so yeah. And that's another thing I've got to do. I'm like, oh, don't jump down their throats. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know
That they're
the
not
whole,
aware, right?
and yeah, that's right. They turn up, they have their once a month meeting, they get their meeting fees, and then they bugger off. So I should be not should. I'm actually grateful because I don't have anyone really that's breathing down my neck. Like I don't have a manager or I don't have
Yeah, because you're quite
so
independent, eh? You're
yeah.
managing yourself, really.
Yeah. So I mean the position that I created is just spot on. Like,
Yeah,
I call my hours, I work as long as I get everything that I need to do done. So I'm pretty free in my role. I just gotta
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, trying to fix and control their attitudes is probably the
yeah,
least of it's like minute to
yeah,
my fabulous work week. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I've got a company car, I've got petrol card, I've got, you
yeah.
know, everything. My whole
Stuff
office is all
happening.
decked out. So, and I
Yeah,
work from home. So it's like living the dream. And then I get
yeah. And if you,
$1,200 a week.
yeah,
Mm.
and if you were just feeling a bit tired in the morning, start half an hour later, or if you want to start earlier, you can finish earlier, right? Generally, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. If I'm up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, like I'll just bang into my day. And then, like you said, if I can't sleep at night, sometimes I can do 5 hours through the night, and it's fabulous. It's quiet, no one's calling me, I can get things
Yeah,
done. And then the next day, I've got hours up my sleeve
yeah,
to do what I
yeah,
want. So I'm in the it just suits me down to the ground. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, now you created that, so go you, my friend.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. So a little bit still there with them. Is there anything with friends or anybody else outside? Like you're not working with someone as in like with me with my house stuff, I was working with the council and they were quite frustrating at times. So there's no one outside of your work colleagues that or the universe or life that you're trying to fix?
Not really. I
Not good.
really, nah. I've got two really good mates, and I
Yeah.
think we're all at the same level, just doing ourselves right now.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So, for some people that they think life is shit when you talk to them and they're trying to literally fix that. They're trying to fix the government. They're trying to sort out the
Oh,
council.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
raving
yeah.
at, they're raging at things. I know you're not doing that, but I had to ask that question. There's
Yeah.
people that just hate the government. They want things to change. And that's a type of control. And it will make you so unhappy because you can't control the government, right? You
Yeah,
can't
no
even
way.
control your kid half the time. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Can we? Not really, eh? Little shits.
Yeah. Funny.
Funny,
Kids.
eh? Yeah, so you can see, and you knew that probably from the beginning, you were still doing some of that. So it's just to get it down on paper. And so you can
Oh,
get a
yeah.
list of it today and look at it.
Nice.
So if you weren't, I'm going to go through this list a little bit. So if you weren't trying to make your parents happier, paying their bills, keeping an eye on them, what new possibilities could open up? I'm not saying you should not, but if you let go if it was just you and the universe could come in and bring other people or possibilities, I'm not saying you wouldn't still be doing that, but if you opened that up, that you weren't the only one and the universe could come in with
Mm.
an option or a solution, what possibility would that open up?
Yeah, like I'm guessing there would be a flooding of services to come and take care of all
Yeah.
their needs,
And,
like
and
the
how would that
nurses and
feel?
the,
How would that
yeah,
feel to you?
like, yay, teamwork, let's do it.
Team. You'd have a team.
Yeah,
Exactly that. And that's
yeah.
probably what's missing a little bit with all this. Would you say that with all this? It could be that you haven't quite feel like you're quite a team with the universe with that stuff.
True. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a really great awareness to have teamwork.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
if
probably
you,
right.
yeah, and if you weren't giving that money to them, what could that open up for you? Could you do with that money?
Yeah, probably whatever the hell I want, whatever
Yeah.
the heck I want,
Yeah,
just, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
More freedom, right?
more freedom, and then I wouldn't be so, get triggered by my siblings,
Yeah.
um, so that I wouldn't get so,
Or huh?
yeah, yeah, wholehearted, like, yeah, because I don't want to be at them. They don't get it, and that's fine.
No. Okay, yeah, no, I get that. So you'd have more freedom, there'd be teamwork and you would feel like you wouldn't get triggered, which would be great, right? If you could
Yeah,
hand
that's
over a
right.
little bit more. What
Yeah.
about with the colleagues? If you didn't have to get triggered with them, excuse me, if you saw what was going on and you're aware of the patterns and you're aware of the lack of consciousness, but it didn't trigger you, what would that give you? What possibilities would that open up for you? What would that
Yeah,
allow?
I think, yeah, I just thought about that now. I think I'd be able to see them more as contributors
Yeah,
rather than being annoying. Like I'd be able to see what they could actually bring. Because I'm
yeah,
wondering now, I'm thinking they're waiting for me to actually engage with them. Like I know they've got skills, but maybe bring them
right.
on board and work so that it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. You did this for 20 years. How about you do
Yes.
some of the maintenance on the houses and get paid for it? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then
And
that'll take the whole load off me having to run around and find people to do everything.
yeah, and
Mm,
that's the thing. If you're still controlling a bit and you're still trying to fix it and you're still trying to be the one because you're the one that's always had to be the one on some level, right? Take
yeah,
responsibility and control, then yeah, you would get a team there as well, right?
yeah,
Feel like they feel like they're contributed to, like you said. and they'd have an
Yeah.
opportunity to actually step up and go, "Hey, Gina, I heard you say that the lawns need mowing regularly at that place. I love mowing lawns,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to do that. That's one job you don't have to try and find someone for, or whatever."
Yeah, that's right. It's like, yeah, just bringing everyone's like seeing them for the
Fair.
good that they've got, rather than just
Yeah,
being, oh my God, here we go again, another meeting with these people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
So I
let go of the judgment and you let go of trying to fix it and seeing what was wrong, then yeah, there's a massive teamwork possibility again.
yeah, yeah,
Also, the universe can come in and just drop extra things on your lap and with work and colleagues as well.
yeah.
I mean, things are happening for you anyway, but it could, and you've got an amazing job, but it could be that something even greater shows up because you let
Mm,
go that you're the only one.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like that.
And when we're the only one, that feels like a freaking huge pressure, eh?
Yeah,
Being
yeah,
there. That was
yeah,
my marriage, like, yeah, it's very weighing down, isn't it?
definitely.
A
Yeah,
real weighing down frequency. So where does that sit in your body, that whole possible not where does it sit in your body, with the control? Do you have an area in your body where that sits?
yeah, like definitely up in the shoulders, feeling tense,
Yeah,
like
pulling you in.
holding on, like I can do it, not you, like that kind of stuff. So,
If you've already got that trigger in your body, then start to notice when it comes up as fast as
okay,
you can. Yeah, these are show me body when I'm going into control, because if you start to feel those shoulders going, you'd be like, hang on a minute, hang on. Where am I shooting right now? Where am I trying to control? Where am I trying to control others? Where am I trying to fix it?
right.
And just start to notice the body and let that be your guide, maybe.
Mm,
I
yeah,
mean, it might not help, but I know with me, I start to see some physical stuff and I'm like, oh, hang on, what's the heck's going on here? I'm back doing something. Like my
yeah,
shoulder, my neck's getting a bit tight. And I'm like, there's something else going on here.
okay,
Not quite sure what it is yet. It might be to do with Jewel, my youngest. I don't know, but there's something. And it's been
okay.
tightening up this week. And I'm like, that's not just physical. So yeah, just keeping an eye on when you start to feel those shoulder rise up and you're tensing
Cool. That's a good one.
up. Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it?
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's pretty much today over. Today is about really looking at where you're shooting still and where you're controlling. And I mean, you'd seen some of this anyway. Um,
Yeah,
and but it's good to actually see it and have it on paper, because now you've got those things that you're like, now you're aware of it, you're going to do less of it, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So you've talked about the community stuff, a bit of force there in the mid-eye and a little bit of force in that way, and you feel like you should, and then if you don't go, there's a energy of I should have gone, and then I shouldn't have done that to myself. So a little bit of a conundrum around a little bit of judgment either way if you do or don't.
Yeah.
A little bit of an infinity loop with some of it. It's not all the time. And you should turn up to school more, and I should go for a walk. And we saw that, that's just again, not handing over maybe to the team again. There's a team at school's doing that. There's a team in the mid-eye. Even I know you say it's the same eight people, but if you stepped out, I wonder who could show up.
True. Yeah.
Because we are not the only one. And I used to be that with school. I coached three sports teams in a year. My mum was
Yeah.
sick, going downhill. I was still in my marriage. My husband wasn't working. And I was working and coaching three sports teams, and he wouldn't go to those teams. But of course, who was going? He'd go to watch, but not to coach. But who was there showing up, not allowing
Yeah.
really him to step in? Me.
Right.
I wasn't allowing it on some level. I had control of it. When I look back now,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I and didn't allow any other new possibility to come in. Yeah, it's so interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? because
Yeah,
I was the
very.
one
Yeah.
doing everything, work, kids, sports teams. Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? And it's good to see it
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I you get to see that it's not about that other person necessarily either, what they didn't do.
Yeah.
They can't step up. People can't step up when we're the one being the one.
Yeah.
And the payoff we have there is, we don't want to be compared. We're looking for a little bit of external validation. You said a little bit of tall poppy, jealousy, and then you've got a little bit of still making yourself wrong, which is a brain payoff, trying to keep you in the same place
Yeah.
you've been because it doesn't want you to change.
Yeah.
And the surrendering control, my parents handing that over, work colleagues, you're seeing now that there's a possibility of actually allowing them to contribute and come through with some skill they might have, or just saying, "Are you okay, Gina? How's it going?" or whatever it is, right? So
Yeah,
there's,
true. That'd be a bit of
yeah,
gratitude.
taking
Yeah,
care
that'd be
of you
great.
because you've been trying to take care of everyone else.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
true.
so interesting, isn't it? And I think the
Yeah.
thing we're seeing out of that is the lack of teamwork. It's not that you don't have a team. I know you do. This isn't all the time, but there's
Yeah.
a possibility for greater teamwork, peace for you, extra money to put where you want,
Yeah.
allow others to come in, and you not to be the only one.
Yeah.
And that's what handing it really over is going to allow you with the universe. You won't be the only one. You're going to know it and feel that universe being there in everything you do. Like I can just feel the universe with me. Yeah, 99% of the time. And that's a really um, powerful place for me. I
Mm.
get my power out of that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking back to times of, with Jill letting go of control. Like I said, she got out of bed
Mm.
and said, I hate myself. And she got a job. Mm.
Mm.
But up to that point, she couldn't contribute to herself because I was trying to do it.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that energy was at her that I had to try and fix it. And she was just shrinking back, and that is, yeah, it's so interesting to see it. Sorry, I'm just going to sneeze.
Cool.
So today we're going to look at what's your decision? What's a decision you're going to make?
Decision.
Sorry, it's
Um,
a choice. Sorry. What are you going to choose again today? I, Gina Corder, choose to because I'm worthy of having what my soul really desires, and everything my soul, I add that as well, and everything my soul desires. What do you want to choose today after all of that about payoffs?
that would be I, Gina Cora, choose to hand over,
Yeah,
just hand over
to
to
hand
the universe.
over
Yeah.
a control to the universe
Oh, yes, that's it. Hand over control to the universe.
and your teammates, because you've got a whole heap of teammates on that other side
Yeah.
that aren't in bodies
Yes, I always forget that. Why do I always forget that?
because
Because I
you're
think,
trying to be the one. That's why. That's the only reason.
yeah,
It's there, and I know you can feel it at times, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see them now. They're just swirling around you today.
Okay, cool. Probably
And
going,
me.
hello, hello. Yeah.
Hello, kia ora. Que te whia
We're
koe.
here,
Kia ora.
remember? Hello. Yeah.
Haere mai, come in. Haere
Yeah.
mai.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know, I always forget that.
and it's okay. It's
Mm.
because you're so trained to be the one.
Yeah.
You've been trained to be the one. Yeah. And you've trained yourself because that was your way of, through trauma and other things, I'll take responsibility, I'll fix it, was your way of being safe.
Yeah.
Made you feel safer to be in control, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And you don't need that
Yeah.
now because you're so safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely feel that now.
Yeah. Yay. So time to move this. Okay, so let's close your eyes again. I'm going to read it and then I'll get you to read it after. And let's just breathe this in, eh? Just close your eyes and breathe this in as I read it. I, Gina Corder, choose to hand over control to the universe and my teammates. because I am worthy of having what my soul really desires and everything my soul really desires. Let's breathe that in, breathe it out through all your body and being and your energy right now, and breathe out anything that doesn't match it. Just keep breathing in, and if you want to. Yeah. How does that feel?
Great.
Hey,
Yeah, cool.
hey, yay. Do you want to say it?
Yep. I, Gina Cora, choose to. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Okay. I, Gina Cora, choose to hand over control to the universe and my teammates because I am worthy of having what my soul really desires.
And everything you desire, my friend.
Everything. Yeah,
Everything. Well done. Another kick-ass day.
nice.
And what I love about you is your awareness and you always tell the truth. You might not
Oh,
always to yourself because that's the brain, right? And we lie and we say we're shit. But
oh
when you
yeah.
get into this situation, a brain's saying, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's bullshit, right? That's not you. You
Yeah.
tell the truth, you're authentic and you're straight. And I love that because I know that you're cutting through it like a knife through butter as you say it. You're like, nah,
Cool.
no, you're so authentic around it and you don't. So some people go, oh, yeah, but you don't bullshit when it comes to, and you want to know and you
Yeah,
want to find out what's going on. And that's really powerful. So that's 90% of it. Is
cool.
being authentic and wanting the shift is 90% of it.
Excellent.
And that's where you and I are so similar because we're just stubborn as and we just like, no, I
Yeah.
want to know. Hey.
Yeah, what am I gonna, what am I meant to do here? How do
Yeah,
I sort it? Yeah.
exactly that, my friend. So you have had a brilliant 3 days. Is tomorrow going to work the same time? And I won't sleep in tomorrow.
Oh, that's all good. Yeah, six
You
will
want
be
to get,
good. If
yeah,
it's all
cool.
right with you.
Yeah, yeah. And tomorrow we're looking at what's driving your life, who's in the driver's seat. Now, when we've talked about that today, that's just a reiteration of those shoulds. Who's driving the car tomorrow? And
Yeah.
then the final day is just looking at what programs I've got and any other possibility if you're up for it. And yeah, so the last day will be definitely shorter. We're getting a little bit shorter every day because you're quick at seeing that stuff. So that's awesome. But yeah, have a brilliant evening and sleep. And
Thank you.
thank you so much. Look, the reading notes have just started now. I did it yesterday too, fucking thing. At the beginning, I made sure it was on, and it's just started at the end.
Oh,
Now I've got to
I
go
think
through it a different way, but
technology.
that's okay, little shit. Okay, my friend, you take care.
Cool, Les. Thanks heaps, Lisa.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
worries, beautiful. See you
See
tomorrow.
you
Bye.
later.